and hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I am the Lord.
Last words, brother.
Shalom, ma.
All right.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. All right. Shabbat new moon. Shabbat new moon, Yasharel.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. Shabbat new moon, Israel. Shabbat new moon.
Oh, man. Pray that everyone is having a wonderful feast. Man, can you imagine when we come together and celebrate the Shabbat and the new moon? Man, that's going to be crazy.
Oh, man.
Man, that's going to be
the Most High.
That is going to be wild, man. I mean, that's going to be a day that, like, we're going to look back and we're like, man, we're not going to even believe that it's real, you know, because you've gone through captivity for so long. I mean, we're talking about from Egypt to Babylon captivity to the Medes, the Persians, the Greeks, Rome, man, the sub-Saharan and the transatlantic. Dang. like how much butt whooping do we actually, need before we actually get it right? You know what I'm saying? Man, it's crazy.
We're on the precipice, man. We're on the precipice of repentance, man.
That's right. That's right. And I pray so, and I pray that, the Most High is really touching, especially the brothers, because the leadership relies with us, and that's on us, so this is why, we as men, we have to take the helm and, put that hand to the plow. All right. Because the Most High he talks to all his people. He deals with all his people, but the leadership is the men. And so the greatest responsibility is going to fall on us.
That's right, man. All praises.
Yeah.
Man.
All praises. So, got a nice new moon here lesson for you. And we're going to go from, we're going to start off with Genesis. I was trying to pull that up earlier. And that's what kind of like came into the video. I was like, oh man, I forgot it was going to stop the video.
Oh, you want to go ahead and pull it up on yours over there?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Let's rock and roll.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get it. We're going to just basically, and if anybody, hey, we'll put the link in the comment. And this is the fellowship, lesson as well too. So if anybody want to come on later on or whenever, hey, we'll bring you on. Just make sure you show your face if you haven't been with us before. All right. Should be everybody should be in Genesis. Can you see that on the screen up?
Come, man.
Yeah.
Real.
All right.
Big.
So Genesis chapter 1, and we're going to start with verse 14. And it says, and God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. So, it's interesting because, we've really gotten away from this. Our forefathers of old could read the Luminaries very well. Back then they didn't have no months, weeks, like the names that we have now, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or the names of the month. We had our own Hebrew months. You see what I'm saying? So, over the centuries, we lost a lot of the originality. And that's why when the Most High restores this earth, he's going to bring all that back.
That's right, man. Verse
15. And it says, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, which it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. So just imagine like how all these scientists, they get on and, you see all these space movies and stuff like that. And some of them are dope, but just the theory behind it, like you got these beings coming from deep space and all of this when the stars hang right there in the firmament, and the sun and the moon. I'm going to show you some clips later on as well, too, to show you that the moon and the sun are exactly the same dimensions. One's just 7 times brighter than the other, which is the sun. But scientists like to say, well, the sun is 1 billion times bigger than the moon. I mean, like, how did they come up with these numbers? Like, they just make stuff up. They just make stuff up from their hip and just throw it out there, and the whole world believes it, because they were actually teaching a flat Earth. Yeah, I know they was teaching the flat Earth all the way up until 1940. It was like around 1945 or 46. That was the same year that Admiral Byrd discovered those lands outside of Antarctica and the Antarctica Wall. So I find that very interesting. When they see the truth, they quickly to hide, the glory of the Almighty, and they've been trying to hide it ever since.
Now, just so you can get a whole comprehensive view of how we view the earth, or how it's written biblically, it's just it's a body of land, right, covered with water, right, and it's sitting in the foot or in the throne room of the Most High God, right? And then that's just how it is, and it's sitting up on pillars, right? Because it describes about that in many scriptures about how the earth is sitting on pillars and things of that nature, right? It's not in some kind of void in the middle of nowhere space or anything like that, right? It's actually sitting on pillars, right? Which is why when you look out at the sky sometimes, right? You look at the clouds and they look like they're flat on the bottom, right? That's because they're sitting on the atmosphere, because right, yeah, you have a bunch of molecules, right, that is packed up. Like the further you go down to the ground, right? That's why when you look at these space shuttles and all this other stuff, it takes so much fuel for them to break away from the bottom, because they have a lot. It's a lot heavier. They have a lot more atmospheric pressure, which means a lot more molecules that are holding on to them, right? So if it was like some spinning ball, you go on some kind of crazy the particles wouldn't be able to settle. Right, it wouldn't make sense, right? I mean, like, when have you ever seen anything? I mean, like, even when you're just like visualizing these things and doing just like random experiments, if you ever thought about this stuff, you'll know that if you apply basic physics to this stuff, man, this is impossible. Go ahead.
That's right. And and it's funny you mentioned, and it made me think of something. You can do a test. Like, a lot of people will try to say, well, like, I give an example. Like, if you're at an ocean somewhere and you see a ship in the distance, and it appears to disappear as it goes further away. Well, people will think that, because of that, it's the Earth is a globe because it's going out of sight. That's further from this. That is the biggest lie. If you were to have a powerful telescope, and if you were to bring that ship back in, you'll see it. The only reason why it looks like it's disappearing is because of perception. If you took a straight line, and you walk one way and somebody else walked the opposite way, it's gonna appear that you're gonna start shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. And that's because from your naked eye, you can only see so far. All right. But if you had like a high powered telescope, you can bring that person right back into view, and they can keep bringing that person back, and you would constantly see it. It wouldn't disappear. So, that right there in itself, tells you that the earth is flat, and man has always lied to try to cover up, because the flat earth encourages you to search the Most High. A globe earth teaches evolution, actually, when you really think about it. Because look at the stuff that goes behind it. They make it seem like, oh yeah, this earth was just created by some mystical bang or something, and all of a sudden all molecules exist. That's impossible. Nothing can come in existence by itself like that.
Oh, brother.
All right. Yeah. All right, let's read 17. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night. And
hey, could you read 16 and then could you read that whole passage, man? Because I want to make a point after you get done breaking it down.
Which one? Back to 16 again?
Yeah, 16, 17, and 18.
Okay, I'll read that again.
Point. All right, come on. Yep.
Well, go ahead. You want to read it?
No. After you get done reading it, and then you break it down, and then I want to add to your point. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. I'll read that again. Yeah, I'll read 16 again. It says, and God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good.
Come on, man. All praises to the Most High. Now, something I wanted to point out, right, was that, well, hold up. Brother Dan, did you wanted to say anything about that scripture?
No, I mean it's straightforward. But I do want to, like when it says, and God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. We all know what the firmament is, and it's where the so when the flood happened, that's where the water came from. So it's like a layer. It's like that water that's in the firmament. So it's like that's where all the stars hang at, and they cannot get through that firmament no matter what. But it's interesting though, because how everything just sits in how the Most High laid that in there. If you look at, there's a verse in Isaiah, I'll bring it out, and it says, anyone who can search the foundations of the earth, or seek the foundations of the earth, meaning the distance, then shall the seed of Israel cease to exist. Well, that right there tells you that no man has ever scoped the depths of the earth.
God, man, all praises.
That right there ought to just set value, and man, I wish, I should have had this is why I wish we're all together, so we can show you, we can draw images and like a big circle and show you how like the sun, the moon, and all the luminaries are just rotating around. They're going to their different gates, just like the book of Enoch says. And every month, it's like you notice that the sun, it goes into like a different gate. You can see the sun kind of shift over from the right to the left slightly if you really study it, year round. And it's amazing. It's amazing. And so just one more point. And so if the earth was a rotating globe, like scientists like to say, then how would you be able to, how would you explain the circle of the luminaries? If that was the case, then you wouldn't, if the earth was turning, you wouldn't be able to see that side of the luminaries. It just it don't the stuff that they come out, it does not add up at all.
Facts, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. Go ahead out.
Well, just like Brother Daniel, there's not really much I can say now, but what he really pointed out is that the firmament is like an object, right? So the firmament itself is an object, and it said that the stars were placed in the firmament, in the object, right? Now, if it says, hold on, let me pull this. Let me show this real quick. Give me a second.
Yeah. While you bring that up, remember, I don't know if you're old enough to remember, but remember, our grandmothers. I know my grandmother had one. She had like a globe. It was flat Earth. It was like water inside, right? But there was a layer a layer between the glass, the globe, right, the dome, and that's where all the glitter and stuff was. That was supposed to represent the stars. That's exactly a representation how the Most High has created the luminaries.
Right. Hey, Brother Daniel has some clips too that he's going to pull up in a second, right? But I want to show y'all something, right? So, right, this will tell you that the Earth is stationary, right? And it is the stars and the things that are in the firmament that move around us. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, right? If you were turning the scriptures in the Apocrypha, right? It says, Wisdom of Solomon, right? Chapter 13, verse 1, it says, surely vain are all men by nature who are ignorant of God. They could not, out of the good things that are seen, known to him, that is, neither by considering the works they did acknowledge the work master. Which means that, they don't understand the workings of the Most High, right? And they're not even considering how the Most High made the earth, right? They got Big Bang, right? Small madness, how you can just explode and, all of a sudden you got billions of worlds and nonsense going on, right?
Man coming from apes.
Right?
Ridiculous, man.
I don't know what's going on, right? But the scriptures say, but deem neither fire or wind or the swift air or the circle of the stars. Now, it doesn't say that this is not saying that the shape of the stars is circle. It is saying that the pattern, the movement of the stars is circular, right? A brother has a timescape that he's going to show, and he's going to prove this, right? So it says, or the circle of the stars, or the violet water, or the lights of the heaven, or to be the gods which govern the world, right? So, hey, Brother Daniel, man, you want to pull up that timescape real quick and show that circle, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up a couple of them
like
too.
the pattern,
Yep.
right?
Give me a second here, and I'm gonna pull up a couple of them too. Let me start this back over again.
Come on.
All right. Can y'all see that? You see how it's slowly turning in a circle? And that's what they call, so-called the Milky Way. Now, what man calls. Let me play it again right quick. But I got another one too that won't pull up. Can you see that moving out? Can you see it slowly moving in the circle?
Yeah, I can see it moving. But I think you got one that has like a, it shows like a little spinning thing that shows like a little circle.
I'm gonna show that one too. So give me a minute here, and I'll show you the other one. I have several of them, so that way you can get different angles, so that you all are listening. You'll see. All right. So let's look at this one here.
You know how I forgot what those are called, man. Somebody can put that down in the comment board, right? What's it? Hey, man, that's the first time that's actually played, and you had your headphones in. I can actually hear that.
You hear me? Oh, you know, because I got inside the playlist thing.
Ah, okay.
That's why. Yeah.
Well, Israel, like when you're babies, right? And they put that little thing above your head and they twirl it around. So when you look up, you look at different shapes or whatever the case may be. I don't know what you call that thing, man. Dang, for the life of me, I can't remember. But somebody put it in the comment board if they do remember what the name of that thing is.
Oh, you talking about? Yeah, you know what you're talking about. Yeah, I forgot any of those.
You know what I mean, right? I had one. And mostly all kids, they have one when they're a baby. You know what I mean? Just to keep them occupied or just to looking up. But notice that invention is something similar to the way the Most High did us with the stars and the luminaries, right? The only things that move in the earth that are like the wandering luminaries are like things what they call so-called planets. Right.
Yep. Unplayed as well. Now that's with a slow time lapse. So that's exactly the way the luminaries are spinning, but he's just using a time lapse, so it's making it look like that. But then you can see the formation, how it's moving, which is pretty dope. Ain't that wild, y'all?
Come on, man.
Yeah, it's something. I'm gonna show you something else too. I'm gonna show you the sun. This was taken near the Antarctica. And it shows the sun literally rotating around.
Oh yeah, I saw that one, man.
And this is what scientists don't want people to see. They don't want you to know these kind of things. So they want to keep that stuff hidden.
Don't you think the Most High is a spook, right? He's far away, right? He doesn't exist. Right? The eyes of the Most High are not really on you. You're among thousands of
worlds. Look at that. Look at that, man. I'm talking about the earth is spinning. I think that's the one you saw earlier.
Yeah.
And you can even do a test if you live out in the area where I'll play that again. If you live out in the area where you have a lot of you don't have any city lights, you can set up your camera outside your house at night. Set it up as a time lapse. A lot of these smartphones, they have the time lapse. Put it on a tripod, let it record all night. Guaranteed you'll be surprised. You'll see it. You'll see the luminaries rotating around.
Oh, man, that'd be weird, man.
Can't deny it, man. You can't deny the scriptures. The scriptures explains it just like it says, just like it does.
Oh, man.
Mhm.
Man, you know, it's just amazing, man, how these heathens have gotten people fooled and tricked. You know, man, you
Mhm.
watch all these different shows and these space programs, they got you believing that, you know, hey man, you know, there's aliens from other planets and you know, all stuff like this. Now, I'm not saying that there's not other dimensions that are outside of you know, of what the Most High has created here on earth, right? Because it doesn't really speak about that. It does say that in his father's house there are many mansions. So, you know, that could be a you know, a proverb or some kind of parable of some sort to maybe other universes or other, you know, earths or houses or something for other, who knows, you know. But you know, it's just the things that we look at, man, when we look at the scriptures and we see that the Most High, man, you know, he's just fantastic, right? The ability that he has, right? You know, we do know for a fact there are other dimensions, like far as the ones that we saw that the angels were locked in, right? We talks about Jude and there through Genesis when they came down and they start messing with the women,
Mhm.
right? So we saw they got locked up inside, you know, some dimension where they got, you know, rocks on top of them, they can't see nothing, some dark dimension over there. It's weird.
That's right. Hey, do me a favor, man. We were talking about that, and then how the sun. There was one you was going to bring out in Jubilees chapter 2, I believe.
Oh
You
yeah,
bring that
yeah,
out. Yeah, because that was in reference to Genesis 1.
yeah.
Bring
Let
that
me
out.
bring it out.
Yeah, because I want to show y'all something too. I want to show you an eclipse of the moon and the sun. And, you know, just again, you know, we're just showing you and debunking, you know, a lot of these heathens, what they say that comes out of their mouth, you know, about our Abba. So it's like we're showing you the truth from the scriptures, you know, but all they do is just make up lies.
Right,
From
and
the
even
truth.
man, actually, man, this one right here, man, this is a direct cut to that. You know, any camps and stuff like that start to say that you should, you know, follow the moon for the months, right?
Exactly.
Especially this one. It says, Jubilees chapter 2, verse 9. It says, and God appointed the sun, right? Let me read that one more time. And God appointed the sun to be a great sign on the earth for days and for Sabbaths and for months.
Bring it out.
Right? It didn't say use the moon for months. Right? And for feasts and for years and for Sabbaths of years and for jubilees and all seasons of the years. It divided the light from the darkness, and for prosperity, that all things may prosper, which shoot and grow on the earth. All right.
Man, that's that is wild, you know, and that's why, you know, we never went by the new moon for the feast, you know, and that's where everybody goes wrong. And this is why, you know, people they're off. They don't have the right days. All right. And plus, you know, we're in the land of our captives. So we've already did a video on that, on the feast, you know, not being able to keep the feast in the land of our captives. But the Shabbat new moon is always kept. It's a universal, you know, and it would always be kept.
Come on. Now we're not saying like far as like the changings of the seasons. We know that the new moons do you know, we do know that the secular moons they do go with that. It's lucky I couldn't think of a better word to fit
That's
that, right?
right.
But I knew, right? You know, I'm saying that the new moons they do go with that, right? But this here particular thing is talking about far as like, you know, like the exact particular months and days. You know, man, you get up and they say, oh yeah, you know, you get up at sundown and you know sunset and this, that, and the third.
You know, Jubilees 6 talks about, if you read Jubilees 6, it talks about the moon being for seasons, you know, and it says it in Psalms as well. So it does have a purpose, but you know, for a lot of the camps and everybody, I think IUIC is the only one that do the full moon. I don't know how they get the full moon as a new moon, but you know.
This is what the scriptures talk about: rightly dividing the word of truth.
Yep. I want to pull up something right quick. I'm gonna pull up a video.
Pull it up.
I wanted to pull up Is that not showing? Oh, I gotta erase this thing. All right, so this is an eclipse, and then I'm going to show you. You know, scientists say that the sun is so many millions of times bigger than the Earth and the moon. Hey, these people are just full of BS. Like, how did they be coming up with all this stuff? You know, I think they got a group of scientists that just sit down and just make up numbers. just make up. Yeah, they just make up numbers and say this will sound good. Human beings are pretty much stupid, and really, you know, people will believe anything. If you got the right cameras, right angles, people will believe anything. They'll believe that the Earth is a globe. All right.
Oh, they will, brother. They will.
So let me show you this right quick. Yeah, so anytime an eclipse happens, and so you know the scriptures don't talk anything about eclipse. You know, man have come up and they come up with all kinds of crazy stuff. You know, and Isaiah 10, these are 10, 11, no, not Jeremiah 10 says that do not be, do not. Let me pull that up right quick, so you can see it. I don't want to quote it wrong. But man, people just come up with all kinds of just crazy stuff. Yeah, look at the eclipse, and you see a lot of our people on the streets, you know, all into that kind of stuff. And the Most High says, "Do not learn the way of the heathens." All right, pull that up here. All right, you see that? It says, "Thus says Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them." All right. So what does that mean? That means the heathens is going to take something when they see a new moon happening. Oh my God, the earth is coming to an end. Well, basically all that is just the moon and the sun passing, catching up. That's it. You can show me out there's any scriptures, but show me one scripture, show me one scripture where the Most High made a big deal about an eclipse or some kind of blood moon. I don't know. Maybe there's something in the scriptures that I have not come across yet. Is there out?
Nah, man.
Concerning the eclipse and a blood moon, and going around with cars lined up, coming up with different signs and stuff. I mean, I have not seen it.
It doesn't matter if the moon's red, blue, purple. There's nothing you can do about it if the Most High is starting to move. Yeah, exactly. That's just the thing. Yeah. All we have to do is just keep faith and keep the law, statutes, and commandments.
That's right. It's just people, they see stuff like that, and all of a sudden, man, they just go out on a hog spin, making up all kinds of stuff based off of an eclipse.
Man, I don't know, man. You know, it's just amazing because when you look at it, man, it says like when you look at it and you really see the tone of the scriptures. Yep. Man, you see how Mashiach, man, he really cares about people paying attention to what's he made, and the ways he done it and things of that nature. So these folks out here perverting the way that the Most High said he done it, saying that the Big Bang happened and all this nonsense, and it didn't go the way the Most High said it went by him doing it in 6 days, and he took a breather on the 7th day. Right, that's that's all kinds of blasphemy, right? All kinds of lies, ridiculousness, wickedness over there that's being perpetrated. Man, when you really read the scriptures and you look at the coming of Hamashiach, right? You look at the coming, the only way that really people focus on, right, how good it is is if you come from the Christian church, because that's the only scriptures they really point out, right? But if you've never been to the Scriptures church, if you've never been to the Christian church and you just read the scriptures straight through, right, the coming of Hamashiach will be like a horror story, right? That'll sound like, the coming of the Death Slayer, of someone coming to just, kill every damn body. Anybody that's, anybody that's doing what they shouldn't do, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
It's like, what I'm saying, Santa Claus, instead of the naughty list, if you catch you on the naughty list, man, you get immediately put to death. Man, that stuff is crazy.
Yep. That's why, man, like, what were the fallen angels thinking, man, when they decided to do that and come down on the women? And then not only that, then they start teaching wickedness. They start teaching the people how to do all kinds of stuff that was forbidden, root cutting and all that kind of stuff. I wanted to read this verse right quick.
Bring it out, bro.
In relation to the video we showed. Enoch 72. It says, and thus it goes in and out, neither slacking nor resting, but running on its chariot by day and by night. It is light. Its light is 7 times brighter than that of the moon, but the dimensions of both are equal. What does that tell you?
Read that again.
It says, and thus it goes in and out, neither slacking nor resting, but running on its chariot by day and by night. Its light is 7 times brighter than that of the moon, but the dimensions of both are equal. You ain't gonna see this in you ain't gonna see this taught in classrooms, in school books, science classes. You ain't gonna see this taught. And they're gonna tell you this is a lie. That ain't true.
Man. So how do you think y'all, we done went to the moon and all that other nonsense, that we've actually, that the heathen have built some kind of, device that has been able to propel them, to the Most High's moon, right? To, to the creation that Hamashiach has made up there and got it hanging in the midst of the firmament.
Mm-hmm.
Put a 1 in the comment board if you believe we done went to the moon. And put a man, put a 1 in the comment board if you believe we went to the moon. Right.
Don't worry, I ain't gonna call you out. I don't think everybody who's listening to us, man, they already know the truth,
Man.
They try to, man.
That's right, man. We'll see. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Gotta watch it. Okay. We ain't get no takers up.
Yeah,
no
man.
takers.
Like, I'm gonna be honest with you.
1 + 1, Dre P. Let's go.
Yep. Man, to be honest with you, even a lot of the heathens are realized. That's why you don't see, how come you don't see like a going to moon day or something like that? How come they don't make a big deal out of it, man? Because people, man, I think people are just in general just starting to realize, man, that stuff is BS. They just not challenging it. They just not gonna be like, oh, if it's the government, they're not stressing that we really went to the moon anymore. I remember when I was growing up, that was a big thing. Like every year when that came around, they would always play like little clips and stuff. Not anymore.
Yeah.
People.
Man, they know better, man.
Yeah.
They got the footage from back in the day. That was a Disney. Man, people's too aware now, man. Like the technology is too good. We're too used to seeing stuff. You can't, pull that Disney stuff anymore.
Exactly.
It's amazing, man, how the growth of technology has also improved people's perception of reality as well.
Well, look at AI, man. Look what they're doing with AI now.
Come.
And I think that's going to be one of the tools they use to deceive, man, a lot of people.
Man, they already started to deceive folks.
Speaking that, while we're on this subject, kind of just dealing with the luminaries, forgotten signs of the Most High, I kind of want to bring up something me and Brother Aton was talking about earlier. Y'all remember that orb that was hit by that Hellfire missile? It was supposed to be a one of the most strongest missiles. You can go inside of bunkers and crush anything. And I came to the conclusion. I said, that thing is probably ours because, they probably got stuff that they can create through AI and whatever, Project Bluebeam, and make it seem like it's not one of ours. Because I'm telling you, anything of the Most High, you ain't gonna be able to lock on for one thing. You ain't gonna be able to lock on and destroy it. You ain't destroying nothing of the Most High. I mean, that's just the facts. You think that you're gonna be able to shoot down a chariot of the Most High?
Impossible.
Exactly.
That's
Matter of fact, you won't even
hit them boys with whirlwind and fire, man. Come on, man.
That's right. The scripture said he makes his chariots in the clouds. You see a big old cloud, you wouldn't even know a chariot was there. I mean, man, I'm telling you, the trickery of the heathens is just unparalleled by anything I've ever seen. And all they're doing is getting ready for a great deception. Hey, they're gonna have blue-eyed white Jesus, blonde hair, blue-eyed white Jesus coming out the sky. They can't do it. Hey, they can't do it with a black man because
Israel, don't you dare run out there either, man. Hey, man, they're gonna be Israel, man. They're gonna be running out there. Oh,
yeah, man.
I knew it. Ah.
I hate to say it, man. It's gonna be niggas everywhere, boy.
Man, they're gonna be, man. As soon as they come up with white Jesus, oh my God, look at the flowing hair. Oh my man, listen, man.
Think about it, man. They would not use a black man to do that, man, because they know that they wouldn't like, oh, that's the devil.
I know somebody, them boys, man. Imagine, man.
Perfect one to use. What do they? As soon as they think of that word Jesus, guess who pops up in their mind? That old white, blue-eyed, blonde-haired man pops up in their subconscious.
I mean, it's scary, right? You gotta imagine the heathens, man, when they die. I mean, like, they have no hope. Mm-hmm. There's no hope for them.
And our people are so deceived because we don't study the scriptures. This is like the title. This title, the Luminaries, forgotten signs of the Most High, because our folks don't know how to study the scriptures. They don't study the scriptures, so they don't understand. They don't understand the luminaries and how they work, how they operate. And this is why a lot of our people get confused. And then, Pastor Porkchop just telling them they don't have to keep the laws. And they sitting up there just praying to the white man.
Damn, man.
Yep.
What, man?
Praying to a false idol. Praying to Zeus.
Man. Zeus.
And got Zeus on the walls. Got them painted in what do you call those stained glass windows?
Huh.
Got a picture of Zeus with blue eyes and blonde hair.
That's most of our people, though, man. A lot of folks, man, we just confused.
And what's so crazy, man? Our people will fight you over that stuff too.
But man, you gotta look at it, man. For real, though. Right? The heathens did a number on our people. I'm not trying to really make excuses for our people, but I mean, like, at the end of the day, it's still up to us to choose the right thing to do. But I mean, damn, when the scriptures talk about them boys forwarded the affliction, they definitely did.
Mm-hmm.
What you got, brother?
Yeah, man.
On this new moon holy day, man.
Hey, so this is fellowship time as well. So if anybody have any questions or anybody want to come on, go ahead and put the link. And, so if anybody want to come on, man, and hey, fellowship, or if you got any questions concerning the lesson, let's see, come on in, because we don't want to take with the time for you all as well too. So we want to try to make this not only a lesson, but a fellowship. There's a new moon fellowship, so we definitely want to fellowship with our brothers and sisters. Yes, sir.
All praises to the Most High, man. All praises. Oh man, shit, man, I'm telling you, man.
That's funny.
I don't think.
The
Oh,
Messiah has recessive genes, blue eyes, and no melanin. Yeah, I know, right? But everybody worships it. That's crazy.
Man. Yeah, I don't know. Them boys, man, you know them boys on everything.
Man, it amazes me the brainwashing, but you know, it's not so much the brainwashing, it's just the stupidity, man, of our people, the ability of our people to follow behind that stuff. Like, dang, man. And you know what's so sad? These Sunday churches are filled with our people, man. They're not losing money at all. They're gaining money.
Man, them boys saying, man, now, man, the churches is nothing but filled up with women now. It's like what they're doing is they're purposely keeping the women single and then feeding them all this nonsense and then just keep on, you know, passing that collection plate around, you know, telling them to be still and wait or something like that. Or I don't know, man, some old nonsense.
But
it's
you know,
just,
the
man,
church,
it's wickedness. They're just preying on our people, man.
But you know, the church has always been mostly like that since the 90s. Like it really started in the early 90s where you saw a large population of women flooding the churches. But now it's gotten so bad now where that's all you see is just single women with kids. And then you have seniors. You know, you got old grandma single seniors. And then you got a few elderly singles up in there.
It's like, I don't understand, like, why attend an organization that doesn't obey God at all? It doesn't teach y'all having service on a day that's unholy. You got service on the first day of the week. Where in the Bible does it say do that? Right?
Because it's a feel good. Yeah, it's a feel good service. People go there to feel good.
Yep. They don't honor the holy days. You don't see Christians keeping this the Sabbath days. They're out at the flea market. You know, they're out, they're out doing their thing on Saturdays. You know what I'm saying? They're not or Friday nights or whatever the case may be. You know, it's just not whenever the holy days come around, whenever the the luminaries signify a holy day, it's just be desecrated, every single time. Man, you can just imagine. Like, you know what, man? I pray that I'm dead by the time the Mashiach comes back. And then maybe I'll get raised again in the wilderness, and I get to go on a journey, you know what I mean? But damn, but doing the part where the angels come back and start, whacking niggas, man, I don't think I want to be a part of that. Talks about those creatures and stuff that are like crawling in through the windows that you can't stop. Those, like, I don't know, man. Like the scriptures are full of like scary, nightmarish things when you really think about it. And then, it's just weird because, the Most High's time is not the same as our time. As it says, is that a year is like, 1,000 years is like a datum to the Most High, right? So when you're really looking at it in that particular time frame, to us, man, we could advance all kind of futuristic, and all kind of stuff like that, and the Most High might not even be paying attention, like that. That's why he has the watchers come down and, come up and report, and say, and say things of that nature, right? That's what it has going on. And so you gotta be like, man, look how much time has gone by. And so when it does come time for the Hamashiach to come back, the Most High makes his decision, right? He decides to send his son back. Man, it's gonna be hell to pay, right? Because the Most High, he makes sure that, he's gonna let the earth get right with wickedness to the point where, he's gonna feel justified, sending Hamashiach back to slaughter, hundreds of billions and millions of folks over here, him and the angels. Man, if 2 angels destroyed 5 cities, and he gonna come back with a horde, man, come on, man, what's going on?
I mean, crazy.
I mean, like that's just, man, that's just unimaginable, right? I mean, like man, and then the angels got so much power, right? That in the midst of destroying the 5 cities, they had so much situational awareness that they caught Lot, that they knew Lot's wife was looking back at the city in the distance, and they turned that woman to stone. Come on, man.
It's because her heart was still in the city, man. She didn't want to leave that city.
God. Right? You just don't want to mess with the power of them boys, right? You just don't want to mess with the power, of any kind of heavenly creature that the Most High has, as some kind of, battle ready sentient being. I don't know, man. You gotta wonder, right? What kind of stuff is the Most High entertaining himself with, that he has to have legions of angels that are like warriors and stuff, archangels and things of this nature, right? It's kind of, it's kind of dope.
Yeah, you might be right, man. I don't know if we want to be alive, man, when the Most High comes back, because this ain't gonna be no.
Man.
Definitely ain't gonna be no roses and hugs.
So that's why I encourage you, brothers, man. Hey, man, be as righteous as you can while you're on the earth, right here, man. Do the most as you can. Endure, right? Even though some things may seem fun and, this, that, and the third. But when it comes down to it, right, when the rubber meets the road, if you keep those laws, statutes, and commandments, you will be rewarded, man. Imagine being risen up again, right? You know how the scriptures talk about in Ezekiel, you get those dry bones, right? Those dry bones get sewn back together, come back, and then the Most High, he breathed, breath in you again. Boom, you come back on the earth, and then you get to see your enemies get put into captivity. Right? You get to see your people be the number one on the earth. You don't got to go to different cities and different countries. And they got, they got your people dressed up as monkeys talking about, this is you. And then, you need to learn how to behave, right, on the train. The disrespect is real, man. You know what I mean? I mean, like being an Israelite out here. And it doesn't even help, right, that we got these damn Hamites that, run around and try to dress like us and do our, and, and do kind of, the stuff that, so-called, real Israelites do. Right, so they're even muddying up the waters. I'm telling you, man, it's folly. So, man, it's a real blessing, and I think the Most High, every time we have a holy day, a new moon, or Shabbat, right, or remembrance of any other holy day that we have, man, especially when we get back into the Holy Land, man, we can start, honoring the feast days again, right?
Yep.
So, my brother, have you brothers seen? Hold on, yeah, thank you, Fresh. Have you seen? Okay, the crazy. Y'all told us that the raptures happened today.
No, I haven't heard nothing like that.
Nah, man, that's crazy, man. Hey, you know what, right? Hey, listen. Hey, right? Let me tell y'all something. This right here is a perfect example of blasphemy, right? Of lying on the Lord, saying something that the Lord said he didn't say. This is a perfect example of blasphemy. This is what blasphemy is. Putting words in the Lord's mouth, saying stuff that he didn't say.
Man, somebody probably just said something on social media and then they took it and it went viral. Man, people put, I would tell you something, man. Social media is like the epitome of wickedness, because that's for people to go on, man, and just say any kind of mess. Oh, how much y'all coming back this day, man? Ever since we had social media, man, you know how many people have gotten on claiming they had a dream, or somebody had this, or they had this vision, and probably over 1,000 times already. Ain't no telling, man. I don't. That's why I don't even pay attention. That's one reason why I don't even like social media, man, because it's like social media, man, is nothing but an entertainment tool. That's about it. Unless you're doing like what me and Brother Aton's doing, doing something that's teaching the people the word of the Most High. But outside of that, man, people just get on there for entertainment.
Like this kind of stuff is what is mainly supposedly supposed to be built for: educational purposes, learning, enlightening the mind, and trying to further the future of the generations, instead of debauchery and debilitating nonsense.
That was funny, man. I need that laugh. That was a good laugh right there. Crazy people. But was it a woman? I wonder if it was a woman that came up with that dream. When you said it was a brother.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, put the link in the comment, man. We'll go ahead and we'll because I want to hear this, man. Kind of interesting. I don't mean to be nosy.
We know, hey, we know what the scripture says about dreams. You know, fools dreams. You know.
Man, bring that up, man. What's that? Sirach? Man, bring that up.
No, it's one is in Jeremiah. Hold on, give me a second. I'll bring it up. I got a whole note list on that, man. That's why, man. When somebody says that, oh, I had a dream. I'll pull those scriptures. And let me show you something.
You think Martin Luther King?
Let me show. Hey, bring up Iraq. I mean, if you have to bring up Wisdom of Sirach, if you got you know what? Don't worry about it. I'll bring it up.
All right, Con, all praises.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, man, hey Israel, I need y'all to pray for me, man. I need y'all to pray for me, Israel. Right. Sometimes I gotta go. They got this. We got this contract that I go work on these people unit, these AC unit, and these people. And man, they these fake Jewish people, man, and they just be talking to me all happy and stuff, man. I just be like, man, if y'all don't get your wicked ass out my face, it's so aggravating, man. So y'all gotta pray for me as well. Make sure I stay in my frame. Make sure I don't lash out and try to, choke none of one of them and try to hide them in the ceiling grid. Please, right? Pray for your brother. Go ahead, brother. Lock you.
Start 1 through 2.
I was looking for.
Let me highlight it right quick. No, let them know. Can you see it? Can you see it on screen?
No, I can't see nothing. Hold on. Let me try.
Okay,
I can see it now. Yeah.
All right. It says the hopes of a man void of understanding are vain and false, and dreams lift up fools. Whoso regard dreams is like him that catches a shadow and follows after a wind. Damn, that's crazy, man.
You know you ain't catching the wind, man. That's just
Mm-hmm.
man, this a picture of somebody trying to chase the wind. You know how stupid that looks. On every which way, your arm flailing around.
Let's go to Jeremiah 23. Man, these folks, man. I don't know what's going on to their head, man.
Hey, you brought out Psalms 19 and 4.
I'm about to
you
get
brought
there.
that out earlier.
Psalms 19, no. Go ahead and pull it up if you got it. No, go ahead and pull it up. Here's Psalms 20, Jeremiah 23 and verse 32.
Now, I want you to pull that out because I don't want to take you off topic.
No, it's fine. Can you see that verse? It says, behold. It says, me highlight it right quick.
Oh, praises. Appreciate y'all, brothers and sisters that got my back. Prayer warriors. I'm just kidding.
That's right.
But you know what I mean.
It says, behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams, says Yahweh, and do tell them and cause my people to err by their lies and by their lightness. Yet I sent them not, nor commanded them. Therefore, they say they shall not profit this people at all, says Yahweh. So, this is why you got to keep your mouth closed. The scripture says that his coming is going to be like a thief in the night. You ain't going to know. Why would he tell you? Why would everybody know when Mashiach is coming back? And why would he go through some man or some woman when he says in his word that nobody knows the day or hour?
They ain't gonna know that, man.
So people gonna always come up with different crazy stuff, man.
That's scripture, right?
Let me pull this one up right quick.
Oh,
there's quite a few of them, man, that we have.
Hold on. Wait. I'll put you off. All right. Go ahead.
All right, 34:7. It says, for dreams have deceived many, and they have failed that put their trust in them. I'm telling you, man. Go ahead and bring that one out. He's going to bring out.
No, but just talking about dreams, like a lot of folks, they have dreams. They're like, oh well, I dreamt that this and that happened, right? I can't tell you, how many times that I've heard about a brother or my wife. She's said something about, they had a dream about, I went somewhere and something bad happened. I'm like, yo, relax.
I'm gonna show you where they get this stuff from, man.
I'm pretty sure, you'll know there's a clear difference between the Most High actually speaking to you and a dream or whatnot.
I'm gonna tell you where they get it from, man. Joel 2. This is the woman's favorite verse right here.
Which is already passed.
Yep. It says, and it shall come to pass afterwards that I will pour out my ruach upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your old men shall dream dreams, and young men shall see visions. All right. That has already passed. It says also, and it goes right here in the verse 20, it says, and also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my vision. Do we have servants in our captivities? Absolutely not. Do we have any maid servants?
No,
so that tells you it was talking about a time before the time that we were kicked out of Jerusalem.
Matter of fact, man, let me pull this up real quick.
Yeah. But people love to use this verse. That's the go-to verse that they use.
No, right.
So read further.
Right. So this is the I wouldn't say precept, but I guess I guess you could say precept to what Brother Daniel was just talking about. Right. So this is during the time of Pentecost right here. All right. So if you look up in the beginning of the scriptures, it says, right, this is the day of Shavuot, which is Hebrew for Pentecost. Right. So we go down and then we read and said, but this is that which was spoken by the prophet Joel, right? And it shall come to pass in the last days, says Elohim, I will pour out my ruach upon all flesh, and your daughters and your sons shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams, right? And on my servants and on my handmaids I will pour out on those days of my ruach, and they shall prophesy. And I will show wonders in heaven above and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire and vapor and smoke. Right. So this is something that's already passed. This was during the day of Pentecost when they were able to speak the other languages, right? That they were out there speaking tongues, which is literally other languages, not right? It's my bad, right? It's I was in the spirit. I was in the spirit.
Oh,
lock it, right? Right. So it's not that madness. Right. It was literally other languages, because when you continue to read in Acts, it breaks down how these other Jews, which means other children of Israel from the southern tribes, right? Either Judah, Benjamin, or Levi, they were pouring in from other nations that were born in other nations there because they were speaking the languages of the heathen, right? And they were able to speak tongues, which means that they were able to speak the languages of the heathen to communicate and like to tell them about the Most High and how they need to keep the commandments and and just to witness to them as each and every one of you brothers do, right, and sisters. All right, let me see. What else did I want to get? Oh, yeah, this one I want to bring out. All right,
you said you was gonna bring out something in Psalms.
Yeah, I got it. Psalms 19, right? And this goes back to the to the luminaries. It says their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. Right? In them he set a tabernacle for the sun. So what does that mean? What is a tabernacle? That's like a tent or some kind of building, right? Covering. That's a tabernacle. It's a structure. That means it's not, it's not free floating. It's not around, somewhere where it's just, out in the middle of, space or whatever the white man wants to call it, right? One of these heathen. All right. It's not just a white man, but, this is idea that he's propagated the most. It says, which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, right? And rejoices as a strong man to run a race, right? Notice it uses, it uses the pronouns him, right? It calls it a he, right? So when we look up also in the scriptures, Hey, what is that? Enoch, man, you mind pulling that up, man? I think that's Enoch 80, man, maybe 81 or something like that.
What does it say? What does it say?
Well, it says like the name of the moon is Benassi, and then it says like or like Elsa,
Give me a second.
yeah,
Let me pull it up.
or maybe Enoch 71, maybe, or somewhere over there.
I think so. Yeah, give me a second. Let me pull that up.
Right. So here it's telling you that the it gives you a male attribute for the sun. It says, which is a bridegroom coming out of his chamber and rejoices at a strong man that runneth the race. Telling you that what? If it runs a race, it's in motion, means that the sun is moving, not the earth, right? It's going forth. It's from the end of the heaven, right? And the heaven is the sky, right? It's translated as the sky. And his circuit, which is a circle, right? When you run a circle, a circuit around a lap or a circuit, right? Until the ends of it, right? There is nothing hid from the heat thereof, right? Telling you that what? That the sun is the one that's moving and there's nothing hidden from the heat thereof, right? We know that certain parts get sun 6 months and here's 6 months, right? That's because, well, we could break that down another day, but that is because of the circumference of the circle, of the circuit, it changes. It gets smaller and bigger as the sun rises and falls into the earth to create the seasons. And the scripture goes on to read, it says, the law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making the wise simple. Right. It says making the wise simple. So that's why, man, if you're really concentrating on the law, statutes, and commandments and knowing these scriptures, right, and knowing the creation of the Most High, right, these so-called wise men, right, this pseudoscience, this fool's gold out here, right, it won't really trick you because you know what's really going on. You're not floating around on some ball in the middle of nowhere, spinning 1,000 and 1,023rd, miles per hour, and then you're spinning around the damn sun. Then you're spinning around the sun at a million and something miles, and then your whole solar system is spinning in the Milky Way galaxy another million something miles an hour, and then miraculously, right, I'm seeing the same constellations year in and year out, recorded in history for thousands of years. These people need to cut it out. The lies are just, if you just, if anyone just uses their brain just a tiny bit, it's easy to overcome, right, the foolishness that these heathens come up with. No, that's not how it is. You can't escape. You're in a cage, and the Most High is watching, and this is a trial test to see if you get to live forever or not. That's all it is, right? It's a trial test to see whether or not you get to live forever.
We're definitely living in a test. Well, I can tell you that. And this is the trying.
Man, you got to realize, right, man, the Most High, man, he makes retarded babies, right? People with half a leg, no eyes, all kinds of stuff, right? So you got to, you got to realize, right? If you're actually born into the chosen seed, right, and you're not taking the time out to actually recognize what this life actually is, right, and they come with come to grips with what you have to do in order to survive the afterlife, right, so to speak, man. Hey, man, you're in trouble, man. It is not a good look. I'm not trying to scare folks or anything it says the fear of the Lord, right? It always talks about the fear of the Lord. Why do you think it talks about fear of the Lord? Because you're supposed to be scared of what the Lord could do to you. You think that he's just gonna give you a life and it's free? A life. Now, a life should be, how much worth is a life really, right? It's immeasurable, really, when you really look at it. Right? So you have to truly take care of how you handle this. You know what I mean? Come on. I wonder about the Giants, man. I think they're still here. I think they're over there in Antarctica, like still down there talking about. What you looking up, brother? I see you down there scrolling. Hold on, let me
Yeah,
put you
I
on the
was looking
screen.
at. I think it was Enoch. I'm trying to look at Enoch. So I'm putting it up yet because I'm trying to get the names right quick. That's one name.
Okay,
Okay, here it is,
come.
right here. Here it is. All right, you can pull it up.
All right, come. Let me take this
No,
out.
it was. You see, it was the name of the suns or the moons.
No,
It was the name of the
that's it.
suns.
No, yeah, the
Yeah,
sun.
no,
Right? Yeah, the
yeah, it
name
says
of
the
the
name of the
sun.
suns, and these are areas and of the other Thomas. So the names
Right.
of the sun are these. One is Aries, and the other Thomas. You know what? That's why I believe, man. Like, okay,
What kind of
we'll
attribute is
start it.
that, though? Right? Is it male or female? Aries and Thomas.
Yep.
Is that a male attribute or is that female attribute names? You know what I'm saying? Are those feminine names or male names?
No, those are males. Those are males.
Con. You know what I'm saying? So that was just like the verse that I brought out, right?
Yeah.
In Psalms, that was showing you that, right? That was showing you that the sun has a male attribute. See, man, a lot of folks, man, they say, oh, man, you know, the book of Enoch, it doesn't line up with the other scriptures and stuff like that. But, like, you know, if they didn't line up, if they weren't biblically lined up, you wouldn't know these small little nuances and stuff like that. You wouldn't know when all of a sudden you get over here, then all of a sudden, you know, they have these certain nuances. All of a sudden, oh, and the moon has female names. But then when you get into Sirach and Ecclesiastes and stuff like that, it does. And then other scriptures, right, it does pronounce the moon as being, you know, something that's feminine. Right. And then, you know, if you heard about, you know, witches and all this other stuff, they also say the, you know, the same damn thing. But how do they know that?
You know, it's interesting because when we talk about the Hebrew language, like the whole Paleo Hebrew is a masculine language, you know, but even though it is talking about women as well. So it's like, okay, when Mosai said that he's dealing with man, right? He's dealing with man in the scriptures, you know, because man is a leader. So he's also referring to the woman because the woman is part of that. But it's interesting, you know, when you look at the sun, how they're dominant, you know, and then the female portion of that is talking about the moon. But it says that the moon has four names. The first is Asanya, the second Ebla, the third Benasai, and the fourth Eri. These are the two great luminaries, which orbs are the orbs of heaven, and the dimensions of both are equal. And we read that already in Enoch 72.
Man, imagine you grew up learning this kind of thing, you know, like learning this kind of stuff, right?
But that's you know, this is why, man, like all this stuff has been lost. It's what we call forgotten times. Can you imagine, man, what our forefathers had the privilege of learning when they were keeping the commandments?
You know why? Hey, man, you know what too, man? I bet you these folks, they really know for real, not to build another damn tower. You ever notice that ever since the first Tower of Babel, they ain't tried that no more. They have not tried that idea again. Right? The Most High, man, he's not worried about spaceships or you know, space shuttles or nothing like that because they don't have the technology to get there because you need molecules, right? You need atoms in order to travel. That's how all engines work. Without the ability to pull in the atmosphere, right? Any kind of atoms or anything like that, right? That the atmosphere, you cannot create a propulsion system. And so that's just the way it is, right? You're not going to be able to pack enough fuel in there to try to get there. That's just not how it works.
They don't even have enough. They don't even have the They don't even have the qualified tech to stop a tornado. Just something simple as a tornado, a natural disaster. Like with all the tech, man, they can't even stop that. They can put all kinds of stuff in the air, chemtrails. They'll never stop a hurricane, tornado, fires. And you know when the Most High, when the Most High causes destruction, he never, you know, the Most High always uses natural disasters. Y'all know that, right? He always uses the elements of nature for destruction. I mean, the flood is a prime example. Fire and brimstone on Sodom and Gomorrah. Where has the Most High ever used man's technologies to destroy man?
Yeah, you can't stop it. Still today, they have floods that kill, you know, monsoons that kill all those folks over there in the third world countries.
And look how bad it's getting. Yeah, look how worse it's getting. Those floods, those recent floods they had in Central Texas.
Oh, even here, facts.
It wiped out all them all them heathen children that they was at that camp.
Yeah,
Wiped
the
out
little
all of them.
Doppler radar that they got over there, and they can detect. Let me get my little Doppler radar. Let me detect when the storm is coming. Man, they have no technology to stop the Most High. That ought to be scary. Like it's still all these years later, and rain can come through and then kill your ass. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, rain. Something simple as rain.
Well, shoot. Not only rain, but man, earthquake. Nobody can predict when the earth is going to happen. The Most High can just all of a sudden shake the earth, just tear everything up. We ain't seen like what is the biggest Richter scale that we had was I think it was an 8.2 or something like that. Man, just imagine a 15 or for earthquake.
Oh yeah, okay.
Richter scale. What you call that scale that they measure the earthquake? What's the name of it?
Richter scale.
Yeah, I think the highest one was an 8 something, but just imagine a 15.5 or something like that. Well, even tornadoes are becoming bigger now. Now you got F5 tornadoes now, which can get up to like 300 miles an hour. And they're predicting next year F6 tornadoes. Man,
it's gonna get worse and worse.
That's what I'm saying. You can't stop that. You can build all these things. You can build everything, but you notice that everything goes back to the dust. Like even the ancient, like if you look at the Roman, I don't know if you've ever been to Rome to visit, but like the ancient Roman Colosseums, man, those rocks are almost turned back to dust. I mean, it just corroded and but that's what happens. If they stay on Earth, if they stay on this Earth long enough untouched, they'll just turn back to dust.
Con. Oh, okay. Going back to a point that I was making earlier, as far as like saying how the clouds are it looks like a bottom. I forgot to tell you that the weight of the clouds also like 1,000,000 tons, right? So if it's not 1,000,000 tons, it's Slovakia. You know what I'm saying? I mean 1,000,000 pounds, right? You know what I'm saying? 1,000,000 pounds, you know what I'm saying? That's like the average weight of the clouds. So the atmosphere is so thick that they're sitting and they had that flat bottom and they're able to ride on the flat. That's how thick really the atmosphere is. Right? Of course they can, we have vessels that can get up to a certain point where like, it feels like they're like riding on top of the atmosphere. Right? But there is a certain point that you can go up no matter how far you go up, right? You can't go any further, right? Because there's nothing for you to propel yourself off of, and there's no atmosphere for you to suck in. Right. So the Most High don't care about planes or any kind of propulsion system or anything like that, because that technology will never ever reach the moon. Right. It doesn't matter if you carry on. Let's say, for example, man, you can carry enough fuel in your jetpack to last a year. But if you don't have anything, any kind of surface material, any kind of atmosphere for you to propel yourself out of, right, or propel yourself from, you cannot have any motion. That's just the way it works. Right. So no matter what these heathen tell you about, we made it to the moon, or, this, that, and the third, right? That is a damn lie. You cannot make it to the moon. And you better hope they can't either, because the scriptures say that if they could, right, if they had a choice to try to destroy the moon or some old crazy stuff, right, then, they could wipe out the seed of Israel and then, we will be destroyed. Right. So you better hope they can't make it to the damn moon. Right. But just, but common sense and just knowing how things work and how nature works, we know that it's impossible for them to actually make it there. They can't make it to the luminaries, man. The Most High got this thing shut down. Man, these folks will try to trick you every year, tell you global warming and all things like that. Like, like the Most High is going to give you tools to destroy his creation. Right? Oh, yeah, man. Let me give these clowns some tools that maybe they can destroy the ozone, some fake creation of the ozone layer and all this other nonsense, that they can maybe try to get out the cage that I created. Man, that's not happening. Right? You're not getting out the cage. You're not going to explore strange new worlds, and to seek out new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before. Man, this is not Star Trek. The Most High has got this place shut down. It's a big enough place, actually, that it says in the scriptures that, you can't tell the end of it. They tell you that it has, we got 9 continents or whatever the case may be, or 7 continents or however many it is, Slovakia, right? That's how much they tell you that we got. Right. But how many of you were actually went out there and actually, took a look and try to see what's going on, or, been behind the, the Antarctica ice wall, or looked up Admiral Byrd and his adventures, and how he had noticed that there was more land across there, and all kinds of stuff, right? So we really don't know what's going on. Ain't none of us do, right? So this little small place is shut down, right? There's nowhere in the world that this place will be crowded. It'll be impossible, right? The Most High is not going to make a creation that all of a sudden, right, that all the earth is crowded. The earth, the Most High, he couldn't foresee the future where he didn't make enough space on the earth, and now we have this overcrowding problem. And then I gave them these different minerals that they can destroy the earth, and we have ozone layer shut that. So Salakia, right? It's just nonsense when you really look at it, right? Everything the heathen says is just absolute stupidity. Oh yeah, but we had a war in heaven. What? Yeah, I was fighting against the devil. It was a war. It got out of control. God don't know what he's doing. God don't know. God has no control over diddly. They was breaking. Fights broke out. Man, in the scriptures it said that the angels left heaven to go do what they did. You think they were trying to cut up there? Hell no. It said those 200 angels led by Shalmaneser to go down and procreate with those women. They said they left heaven. It said they kept not their first estate, as it says in Jude chapter 1, but they left. They're not up there in the kingdom acting a donkey. Man, could you imagine if somebody just probably thought about acting a donkey out there, what'll happen? All right, man, come on, man. But all praises to the Most High, the earth is going to get in that same order sooner rather than later. It says, we'll see how that looks.
Praise so, man. Praise so.
Oh yeah, man. That's right. Yeah, man. Brother Daniel had a real good one. Hey, you remember that video that you had? Had them heathen looking like they was vampires because they couldn't take the sun.
Yep. They can't. Oh yeah, that alone right there, man. You can't stop that. You can try to block out the sun all you want to, but ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen.
Man, with the wisdom of these scriptures, man, we just gotta, really, man, it sucks, but man, we gotta be tolerant. We gotta be tolerant of the madness around us and keep our eye on the prize.
That's right.
Oh, Slakia. All right, man. Let me put this little thing in the chat one time. Slakia Israel. Hold up. Let me pull this scripture out real quick. That I got for you.
I was going to the comments, see if you might have had anything.
Any questions?
Yep. What was this one? I didn't see this one. It says they tried to blame a black fire chief 100 miles away. What? Saying the flooding was due to DI hires. That's crazy. I never heard of that one. But it wouldn't surprise me.
I'm gonna eat out real quick, man. Slakia, man. 72. Want to bring up the Oops. Let me see. No, that's the whole damn thing. I don't know if you want the whole thing. I don't know, Israel. Y'all got what it takes? I know I'm trying every day, man. It's hard. No, it ain't easy.
No, it's not, man. That's why the scripture says oppression will make a wise man mad, because once you know the truth, it's like you don't wish you did know the truth, but it's like, damn, now that you know the truth, man, you got to walk in it. It makes the struggle a lot harder. And I can see why the prophets were frustrated with their people. They just won't listen.
Hey, brother Dre P, man. Hey, email me that link, man. Because for some reason I can't click on the chat and transfer it. I don't think the technology.
What link? Yet. What link?
You talking about? Rapture video. About that Rapture video. I wanted to see that Rapture video kind of
Is it in the comment? Maybe if I click on it, maybe it'll come up. Is it where is it at in the
It's up, son.
comment section?
It's up.
So I didn't see a link. Hey JP, just put the link back in the, if you can put it back in the box right quick. I'll see if I can click on it.
You might have different technology. What you got them? You got an Apple, don't you? Never mind.
Yeah.
I might let you.
We'll see if it pops up on here. Well, as soon as I see the link. It says, did he send it to the email or something?
Perhaps. I don't know.
Check the Monitor Brotherhood email right quick.
Let's see what I got. So Israel, so how was y'all, you know what I'm saying? So how was work today? So how many of y'all went to work, man? Put a 1 in the comment, man, if y'all had an easy day at work today.
Y'all crazy. Why are you gonna do them like that, Art?
Come on. All right. Put a 1 in the comment, boy, if you had an easy day at work today.
Our live audience is a little lower than usual.
Yeah, come. Chill. Yeah. All right, all praise to the Most High, man. Just got it from a wonderful nap. That's what I'm talking about, brother. Boy, them naps are good when you get old, innit? Boy, I know them naps feel good when you get old, man. I mean, when you're young too, man. You know, when you play all day. Here we go. Good looking, bro. Good looking. Knock. Let me see. I see a video. Let me transfer this real quick. Okay. All right, boy, send me a novel. That's a 15-minute video, man. Let me see. Let me get that one out. Let's see. You might can, man. Let's see. It's lucky, my bad. I know I'm taking all day to pull it up. All right, let me see something. What you doing over there, Hot?
I'm waiting on you. Pull it up.
Man, come on, man. Relax, man. You know I got this.
I'm about to fall asleep on you.
Man. You know you're old, man.
I'm pretty much good. I don't really have anything else.
All right, that's what's up.
Drew's got something.
Let me see what you're talking about with this, and then we're gonna close out for them boys. Yeah, you know, about 89 over here, man. You know, he be falling asleep easy. He got his, he got his blank. He got his quilted, his printed quilt over his legs.
Nah, man, it's too warm for a quilt, man. This is Central Cali.
Man, cut it out, man. You got that shawl on. You got the sweater on. Yeah, man. Up in age, man. Y'all pray for Brother Daniel, man. Make sure he's up on his iron, man, taking his pills. You know, he's good to go.
Hey, y'all know the one who's talking always judges his own self. So I'm gonna let him talk.
All right, hold up. I got it now. Boom. All right, finally got that jump. Damn, took me forever. All right, Salaka Israel. Let me see what I got here.
Oh, please tell me it wasn't no heathen and people falling after a damn heathen.
I don't know, man. I'm about to see though, man. It's got a brother on there, so we about to see. All right, let me go ahead and put a mute to this beat real quick. Let me see.
That would make sense why people would believe it then.
God. All right, let me see something. All right.
Claim let some white devil tell it.
Specifically, there's been a lot of talk about a man that claims that Jesus Christ has told him specifically that the rapture was going to take place between the 23rd and 24th. And this has caused a lot of people to have concerns on whether or not this is true and if the rapture is actually going to take place here in the next couple of days. Now, while I do not believe that the rapture is actually going to take place on these days, I do believe, however, that we are awfully close to seeing this happen. Okay, and this is based off of a few things that have already taken place and
We're
what's
not even
actually
close, brother.
coming in the near future. I want to show you guys those videos, but first I want to show you what this man is talking about. Let's go
Let me
ahead
know
and
when you
hop
want me to
into this
pause it
video,
out.
watch it, and react to it. Before we do me a quick favor. Hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm so that this video can reach more people like yourself. I truly appreciate you guys. Let's go ahead and hop in.
This is what God said to me one day.
Oh, damn it.
A voice, in a voice. He spoke to me. I was not sleeping. He said, tell my church,
Sound like a Hamite.
I love them.
That's Ham, man. Damn,
Yeah,
Ham
man,
did
go
it
ahead.
again, man.
Go ahead and turn that off, man. That's Ham.
Ham is at it again, man. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, Israel. Y'all know good and well y'all can't follow up no damn Ham. As soon as you hear that, hey, I know the way. No, sir, man. We ain't not dealing with Ham. And Ham does not know the way, Israel.
Hey, he was seeing the spiritual demons of his ancestors, man, talking to him.
When the Lord had cursed their ass and told them, you shall be a base nation. And ever since then, the boys have been at the bottom of the totem pole,
Yep.
getting raped by the Europeans. Damn. All right, Israel. I mean, you know, if we don't have any more questions, I don't think Brother Daniel has anything else. We shall bid you guys a Shabbat new moon, a happy new moon.
All right, Yasharel. All right. Well, Shabbat Shalom, new moon.
That's right, Israel. Hey, and stay strong.
Yes, sir.